Do you know where Sophie is? What are you sounding so worked up for? Of course I do. She's with me. I'm just taking her out for a walk. Kisses! Didn't I tell you to stop just taking her out without telling anyone? Do you have any idea how worried I was? What's the big deal? She's my granddaughter, isn't she? Why should I need to ask permission to take her out? You're busy hanging up the washing and she looked bored out of her mind. Poor thing. You should be thanking me. She has a pediatrician appointment for 4 p.m. Just bring her back quickly, please. I need to get her ready for it. She looks fine, though. She doesn't need to go to the pediatrician. She's been coughing quite a bit for the past couple of days. I made an appointment just to be on the safe side. Is that all? She doesn't even have a fever. She doesn't need to see a doctor. Stop being such a worrywart. With all due respect, it's her parents' call whether to take her to see someone or not. Sophie said she'd rather go to the park than the doctor too, though. Of course she's gonna say that. But she's the one that's gonna suffer if she does happen to be sick. It's better to get her checked out before she starts feeling bad, in case the doctor can prescribe something. I have a lot more experience than you in raising children, and I told you she's fine. Learn to listen to your elders. If she was sick, I'd see it on her face. I remember you promised us you wouldn't do this before Sophie was born, didn't you? What did I promise, exactly? You said you would let us raise her how we saw fit, and you wouldn't butt in so much. Have you forgotten already? I was afraid this is how things would end up. I let you name her yourself, didn't I? I never butted in at all. What's that supposed to mean? You didn't let us. It's our right to name our own child. We didn't need your permission. If that's your only idea of not butting in, I never would have agreed to our living arrangements. We split the house into 2 floors with separate kitchens and bathrooms so we could have our own space. But what's the point if you just come up without warning every day? I'm just making sure you're not slacking off in your duties as a wife. If Sophie could understand, I'm sure she'd be really grateful for my concern. I've told you countless times that I really don't appreciate that. Your own son even told you to knock it off, didn't he? I'm doing this for Holden's sake, too. I'm sure he'd appreciate it deep down. He's just siding with you now to make you happy. Deep down, I know he'd hate to have his wife slacking off on the housework. I know how hard that boy works. It would break my heart if he came home to you lazing around the house, and a sorry excuse for dinner. I'm just helping out to make sure your marriage survives. Kisses. We really don't need your help with that. So ungrateful. You might as well just divorce Holden right now with that attitude. With a face like his, he wouldn't have any trouble finding a more suitable wife. Are you serious? You don't really care about us at all, do you? You're always doting on Sophie, but you don't actually care about her at all, do you? How dare you insinuate such a thing? Of course I care about her. You know, if we end up divorcing, it's Sophie who's gonna suffer the most. Oh, relax. It was just a joke. Why are you taking it so seriously? Stop making those kinds of jokes. Sophie's starting to pick up on it and copy you. Do you know what she said to me the other day? I don't think you want me to guess. Instead of calling me Mom, she just yelled, "Hey, you," at me like you always do. Oh, that's precious. She wants to sound like her grandma. I told her not to talk to me, or anyone really, like that. But I'm worried you're having way too much of an effect on her. So please, I'm begging you. Stop being so disrespectful towards me if you're gonna insist on coming over so often. Stop teaching her such rude things. She just picked up on it herself, didn't she? You can hardly blame me. I'm just asking you to speak more nicely with her around. Is that too much to ask? Anyway, just bring her home already, please. I don't want us to be late for the pediatrician. If you don't, I'm gonna have to call Holden. Okay, I get it already. Poor little Sophie, though. She was so excited to go to the park. My name is Skylar. I'm a 38-year-old mother of one. My daughter, Sophie, just turned 6 this year. She's the cutest little girl you could ever imagine. My mother-in-law, Pat, definitely feels the same way. Every time I take my eyes off of Sophie, Pat ends up whisking her away somewhere. I've told her to stop countless times, but she always takes Sophie to places she wants to go, like the park or a supermarket and so on. So every time I tell her to stop or to come back, or not to take her out, it just ends up upsetting Sophie too. It's becoming a really big problem. And Pat doesn't seem to have any intentions of stopping, no matter how many times I talk to her about it. At the very least, I wish you'd at least ask me first. If you're wondering how Pat has such easy access to my daughter, it's because we all live in the same house, which I realize now was a big mistake. Sophie, my husband Holden, and I all live on the 2nd floor, whilst Holden's mother, Pat, lives on the 1st floor. We have separate kitchens and cook separately, but if one of us makes too much food, we usually share with each other. But Pat often throws away my cooking if it doesn't meet her standards. To be honest, I don't think she's a great cook herself, so I'm not even sure what those standards are. Sophie seems to really like her grandma, though, so I really want us all to get along, but that seems impossible now. After a certain incident, it seems like our relationship might have finally come to an end. I'm sure you haven't forgotten today is my birthday. Don't tell me. You haven't planned anything. What? Isn't your birthday tomorrow? What are you talking about? It's today. I think I know my own birthday. My birthday is the 28th of August. The same day it is every year. Yes, I know. And today is the 27th. Oh, that's right. My head's been all over the place recently, having to pick up the slack for my granddaughter's useless mother. Of course you were gonna find a way to blame me for this, too. That stew you dumped on me last night was so bad I had to pour it all down the drain. I'm sure my mind is still pretty rattled from the little bit of it I forced down my throat. I should have just thrown it out from the smell. I'm sorry you didn't like it. You obviously don't need to finish it if you don't want to, but you don't really need to report things like that back to me. I think I do. I'm worried for Holden and Sophie. Someone has to give you feedback or you'll keep putting that garbage on my poor baby's table. If you're feeding them garbage like that every day, they must be miserable. I don't understand why you have to say such cruel things to me. They've never complained about my food, and they usually finish everything I cook. You're the only one who's always complaining about my cooking. I'm just being honest. I can't help it. I just say it how it is. I've always been like that. I'm sure they want to thank me for letting you know how everyone must be feeling. And it really irks me that my precious son married such a useless woman. You can't expect me to just keep my feelings bottled up. I have to stand up for Holden. I don't know what it is about me that you hate so much, but this useless woman is Sophie's mother. I'm the one who gave birth to her. She looks way more like Holden than you. I'm sure his genes are more dominant in her. Thank God. It's just been getting worse and worse year by year. What has? Your cooking? Of course not! I'm talking about your harassment. How rude! I've never harassed anyone. Despite how mean you've always been to me, I've done nothing but try my best to get along with you. I don't really care. I understand you don't care for me much at all. But haven't you thought about how it affects Sophie? With you constantly picking on her mother like this? I know you pride yourself on being honest for some reason, but don't you think being surrounded by people being kind to each other would be much better for her? She's just a kid. I don't think she's picking up on what adults are talking about. You'd be surprised by how much kids pick up on. I've really been trying my best to get along with you. So could you at least meet me halfway and put in a little effort to get along with me too? And the next time you plan on coming up to our floor, can you message me beforehand? And before you take Sophie somewhere, could you ask me? And don't speak so rudely to me, especially in front of Sophie. I really don't think I'm asking for too much here. OMG! Shut up already! It's just as I always thought. I wish Hayden would divorce you ASAP. How could you say such a thing? We don't need someone like you around. My life would be perfect if I just had Hayden and little Sophie living upstairs. I always knew you were selfish, but you're going way too far. There's only one thing I want for my 65th birthday, and that's some signed divorce papers between you and my son. That's obviously not going to happen. I don't know what you're so upset about, but please just calm down and think about what you're saying. I've always just tried my best to get along with you, and I'm still willing to try if you are. Hayden went on a business trip the day before yesterday, and won't be back until the day after tomorrow, right? I can't believe I have to spend my birthday with just his useless wife. What did I do to deserve this? Oh well, it's not all bad though. At least he didn't take Sophie with him. I don't even know what to say. I'm just sorry you feel this way about me. Your place seems to be set up for some kind of party. Don't tell me. It's my birthday party. Didn't I tell you to let me know before you come upstairs? So much for the surprise, I suppose. You've put up quite a few balloons, I see. Marvelous. Sophie really wanted to. We spent a lot of time setting everything up. Can you at least pretend to be excited about it when you see her? She was really excited. That's all well and good. But what's this? What's all this food I see on the table? I guess it might be too much. We'll be back before it gets cold, so please just wait a minute. Don't worry about that. It's my 65th birthday party. I won't allow such mediocre food to be served on such a momentous occasion. So I've thrown it all out. You're kidding, right? Don't make jokes like that, please. That's what I should be asking you. Absolutely pitiful. It all looked disgusting. And what was with that cake? Such heinous colors. Unforgivable. You threw out the cake in the fridge too? Didn't I tell you what bakery's cake I like? You never listen to a word I say. I get my birthday cake from that bakery every year. But the one year it's all up to you, and I end up with this atrocity. Are you deliberately trying to ruin my birthday? You actually just threw it out? Of course I did! Pick up a real cake on your way back. All the food was so ugly it was embarrassing. It looked like it was made by a child. Well, of course it did, since it was made by a child. What are you talking about? Sophie really wanted to surprise you for your birthday. She worked really hard. Just wait a moment. Sophie made all of that. Of course I helped her, but she did most of it with her own hands. And she wanted to decorate the cake for you herself. She'd been really excited and looking up cake pictures for the past few weeks. She even made a practice cake and spent hours coming up with the design. She was really proud of how the cake turned out. I can't believe you threw it in the trash. No. Please tell me you're lying. What should I do? I think I can salvage most of it. That's obviously impossible. You can't eat something that's been in the trash. It's too late anyway. I just got home and found her sobbing quietly in her room. I'm trying to console her now, so don't you dare come anywhere near this room. She saw. Yes. She didn't expect you to come up this early, but it seems like she wanted to jump out and surprise you. But you immediately went and did what you did. What? Tell her Grandma's done nothing wrong for me, will you? Explain what happened. How can you say you've done nothing wrong? Don't push all the blame on me now. If you just told me in advance, I'd have never thrown anything away. Oh, but you still think throwing away what I'd make for you is absolutely fine. Well, I mean, that would be your fault. Message received. Loud and clear. This should go without saying, but obviously the birthday party's off. Go back downstairs, please. Oh, I have an idea. How about me and Sophie have a little cooking party to make up with each other? We can remake everything together. Tell her grandma will teach her how to make a much better cake. That seems to be the last thing she wants. No way. The real problem is obviously this living arrangement. Until now, no matter how horrible you've been to me, I've just let it slide and left things as they were. Your own son has even been asking me if I'm really okay with having you butting into our lives so much. But I always told him it's fine. I don't mind. The only reason I put up with it this long is because Sophie really loved you. But what you've done now seems irreversible. I don't think Sophie's gonna forget this or ever see you the same way again. So it seems better for everyone for us to part ways. Just wait a minute now! Sophie's only a child! She hates me now, but she'll forget all about it in a few hours. Don't you think this is a bit of an overreaction? I don't think that's the case at all. I'm her mother, and I think I know her better than anyone. And I think you've ruined your relationship with her for good. Recently, she's really taken notice of how you talk to me, and treat me too. And now that you've treated her the same way, there's no coming back. She just said so herself. How she won't let anyone pick on me either. I don't know why you would have thought Sophie would be okay with you treating me the way you do. What are you telling her exactly? It's you that's making her react like this. I've tried my best to help you, actually. I told her grandma just threw the food away by mistake because she thought it was something else. But it seems like she understands exactly what happened. She's 6 years old already. She understands a lot more than you give her credit for. You haven't talked to Holden about moving out yet, have you? Let's not make that decision so hastily. He's actually here too. He said he won't let anyone treat his wife and daughter like this. Even if it's his own mother we're talking about. I'm glad Sophie seems to take after her father so much. And not her grandma. What do you mean he's here too? He's in the middle of a business trip. That's impossible. This was actually part of the surprise too. He managed to finish up this afternoon and took a much earlier flight back. The reason I wasn't home when you came up was that I drove to the airport to pick him up. I never would have thought you'd come up and ruin your own party while I was gone. I can't believe it. You really did all of this for me. It's like you said, it was your 65th birthday. I know you've always hated me for some reason, but I thought you were still family. I was really doing my best to get along with you. But I realize now I was wasting my time. I'm really sorry. I promise I'll stop picking on you like I have been. And I'll do what you asked, about giving you notice when I want to take Sophie out and everything. So please, let's forget about living separately. It's too late for that now. I should have done this a long time ago. I can't risk you being any more of a bad influence on Sophie than you already have been. Or hurting her as much as you did today, with your childish antics. I promise I'll always ask you before I come up to your floor from now on. You'll barely know I'm around. You made the same promise before we started living together, remember? You said you'd always respect our privacy, if I'm remembering correctly. But you never kept that promise, did you? I find it hard to believe things would be any different now. If you guys really leave, you'll be leaving a 65-year-old woman all alone. Can you really do that? I'm sure you'll be fine. If you're healthy enough to be so picky about food, I'm sure you'll be healthy enough to live on your own for a while. What is Holden saying? Is he really okay with this? Yes. He's set on moving out too. He's comforting Sophie as I'm messaging you, and explaining the situation to her. Let me into that room! I can talk them around! Don't you dare! If you come anywhere near this room, you'll never see Sophie again. So, this is really happening? You're really going to leave me all alone over this? I guess so. You can't do this! You guys are all I have! I'm actually quite relieved, to be honest. I feel like I can finally breathe. Oh, and please clean up all this stuff for your party too, will you? You expect me to do that? If you feel even the least bit bad about what you've done, at least finish cleaning up. You already started by throwing out Sophie's cake, didn't you? I can't believe this. To cheer Sophie up, and to avoid the possibility of Pat barging in and begging us to stay, the three of us left for the beach after that. We made sandcastles, swam in the sea, and got her a lot of ice cream. It seemed to work well, and she was back to her happy self in no time. We tried to bring up her grandma a few times to see if she was ready to see her again. But every time we did, her smile disappeared, and she said she hates her. It seems like she's gonna hold on to this for a long time to come. But thanks to that, my husband and I were finally able to make a firm decision and move out of that house for good. When we got home that evening, Pat was just sitting on our couch, watching TV and eating snacks. She didn't take what I said seriously at all. She thought we would just forget about it with time. She didn't even seem to feel bad about what she did to Sophie. It was the first time she saw us in person after that, and she didn't even seem to have any intentions to apologize in person. Can you believe it? So, without talking to her about it at all anymore, we moved out that same week. I wonder what her face looked like when she saw we were gone. We moved to a house near a big park, as per Sophie's request, and the three of us are happier than we've ever been. Thanks for watching until the end. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more videos. See you next time!